This is the homework for Monday 5/16/16. This is a handout. So the first question gives us a graph and two images and asks us to describe the following transformation in words and using a coordinate rule. So looking at it, the first thing you can see is that they're orientated the same, so they don't seem to be rotated or reflected. If the image had been reflective, all the points would have been reversed. So B prime would have been closer to B than C prime would have been closer to C. And if it was rotated, the orientation would be different because it would have been rotated around a central point. So because of those two things, I would say that this is a translation because the orientation remains the same. And here, if you look at points, you can see from the original point C to get to C prime, you move to the left 6 and down 2. The same happens from A to A prime. So the image moves to the left 6 and down 2. When points move left or right, this is when something happens to the x value, and up and down is when something happens to the y value. So since the figure moves to the left 6, which would be negative, x minus 6 from the original figure gives us the after image. And for y, since it's down 2, it would be y minus 2. So we get xy translated x minus 6, comma y minus 2. The next question asks us to translate QRST according to the rule xy translated to x plus 3, y minus 1. So because the x is plus 3, that would be moving to the right, or to the positive, and y minus 1 would be moving down. So from the original figure given, each point would move 3 to the right and down 1. Or given the coordinates, it would be x plus 3, y minus 1. So here you can see I moved each point 3 to the right and 1 down to give us the after image of Q prime, R prime, S prime, T prime. The final problem asks, which of the following properties are true about a figure that has been translated? Check all that apply. It's important to remember that it's asking about something being translated, which is what we've been working on, and check all that apply, which means multiple can be chosen. So the first one is the slopes of corresponding segments are opposite reciprocals. This is not true because the orientation, this is a huge idea, the orientation of an image when it is translated remains the same. So the slope of all corresponding segments would remain the same. So this is not true. Segments connecting corresponding vertices of the image and pre-image are the same length. This is true because all size and angle, also again with the orientation, all size and angles remain the same when the image is translated. So this would be true. The perimeter of the pre-image is smaller than the perimeter of the image. Going back to what we just said for the last one, this is not true because the size and length of the angles and line segments remain the same when an image is translated. Segments connecting corresponding vertices of the image and the pre-image are parallel. This is true because the measure of the angles remain the same between the pre-image and the image, meaning the lines would remain parallel. Corresponding vertices of the image and pre-image lie on the same circle. This is not true of a translation because, given a central point, depending on the translation, for example here, the translation from Q to Q prime would not lie in the same circle. because they were not rotated from a central point. So that one is not true. So the second one and the fourth one are true, and 1, 3, and 5 are false.